And 5:00, we'll call our February 17th meeting to order. Floor is now open to public comment. Anyone not on the agenda will be able to speak for 3 minutes. Anyone?
There was a public comment that was emailed to me. Unfortunately, someone was unable to make it to this meeting, but I will read it to council. To the Sherburne City Council. Hello. I have been reading about area communities that are getting state and federal money to fund projects within their communities. Examples of this are the $1 million infrastructure grant in Trimont and the pickleball court grant in Welcome. I was told they were achieved through the city council or park board having set priorities and working to find funding for these projects. This caused me to wonder what priorities the city of Sherburne has set for our community. Do we have a long-range plan of projects or ideas to work toward? I would love to hear what direction Sherburne is headed long-term. I think we can all agree that if we don't have a plan, the road can end up going nowhere. I look forward to hearing what Sherburne's plan is. I appreciate that city council meetings are now being broadcast on YouTube. I think it will encourage more people to become involved and interested in where Sherburne is headed. Thanks for your time, Becky Tisch.
Anyone else? If not, we'll have approval of our agenda unless there's any additions or corrections to it.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve our agenda. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion is carried. Consent agenda, had that mailed out to you, so you've been able to read the previous minutes and the check registry, payroll reports, general fund receipts, and utility billing adjustments. Any questions with any of those? Not, I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
Motion to approve.
Been moved and seconded to approve our consent agenda. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Regular agenda, municipal liquor store monthly report. Jamie.
Sure. So in front of you, you have the red carpet monthly report that indicates staffing, including 3 staff who recently started and another staff member who will be working more on bartending and starting with cooking. You have sales that are reported for the month of January for on, off, and food. You have expenditures reported. You have upcoming events, which include races and meat raffles that are scheduled for February 21st from 5 to 7. And staff anniversaries for the month of January, which was Jamie's anniversary on January 15th. Manager notes include working on beer pricing increases that took effect 2/1 and starting to reorganize off sale and make things flow better. If you do have any further questions, Jamie is here to answer those.
The report looks good. Could you keep that monthly total? So we were plus like 28,000 this month. So you could add that on the bottom. So we can keep a monthly running total.
Sure. Yep.
To know how close we are or
Okay,
whatever.
sure.
I think that would be beneficial for us because we're not gonna dig back every month. If you just put that on the side,
Okay,
that would be helpful. Good job.
thank you.
Any other questions for Jamie?
None.
Okay, Cornerstone Management Contract is our next thing. That was emailed to you, mailed to you, whichever. Did our attorney look at this contract?
He did not, as it was no change to the initial contract that Cornerstone had, and he had reviewed upon the initial terms.
There was a change in 2.5. That kind of leaves things open-ended. I thought
So that
the manager would have the right to make adjustment to the management fee to then current market rates of other assisted livings. Any such adjustment shall be reasonable and consistent with prevailing market conditions for similar services in an applicable geographic area. And they would provide a adjustment notice to us 30 days prior. Well, that kind of leaves that open-ended.
Sure, and I
I
understand.
don't know what they're using for a comp because they could use their own buildings for comps and they might be collecting 25% of the gross from that. But that did change from the previous contract.
Sure, and I see that that states following the completion of the initial 10-month term of the agreement.
Right.
So it would not include the current contract,
Correct.
but any future one that council would look at.
Correct. So if it didn't get changed, or if they stayed on and something got missed, they could make that rate whatever they want. So that's an open-ended number, and I think that should be a concrete number instead of just open-ended.
Is that something that you would like done for this contract or for future contracts that are signed with Cornerstone
Well,
after the initial 10-month?
I don't think we can sign this because this is in here currently.
And what concrete number would council like to see in that?
I don't know what that number is.
Currently, it's 5.5.
It is 5.5, but I don't want it to go up anymore.
Of course, none of us do.
So I'm not going to say 10% because then you can just raise it to 10%. So that
Would you
that
pre-
statement wasn't in our last contract, so I don't know why it's in this contract. That's one
Sure.
question.
If I may offer a suggestion, so we don't postpone this another 2 weeks, would it be more appropriate for the 120-day notice, similar to the notice that it would be required for your agency to give us?
It would be more appropriate because if we just did 30 days, you could still have
Absolutely understood.
2 months
We
of,
we would concede 120 days.
so you would raise that 30 days to 120 days.
Yes.
Is that acceptable to any of you? Or not?
That probably works.
And it's the correct address on here? There a motion to approve or deny?
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Then moved and seconded to approve this contract with Cornerstone Management for 10 months. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Motion is carried. Next on our agenda is utility billing write-off request. Sean, I believe that would probably be.
Yep. So we have in front of you 18, really 17 accounts. Just one account in our system doesn't even have the identifying information on it. Majority of these, I mean, 6 to 7 of these were even before Andrea and myself were here. The remainders, we're looking to get guidance from you guys on either writing these off or finding an alternative, as we have reached out to these individuals multiple times, sent multiple letters, penalties, delinquents. We have not gotten any information back from them. The billing remains kind of stalled because the accounts at this point are deactivated and then the new owner is in place of those or tenants. A lot of these accounts have had multiple tenants. Some of these, the individuals have passed on. So ultimately there's a total of $8,261.51 that we're looking at guidance for, as we haven't been getting any responses from them.
Are they good addresses? Do you have contact with most of them, or?
So the addresses are good, but the individuals that are there are no longer these
Right,
individuals.
so you don't have an address for any of those people on the
And
list?
no, and some, well, 2 of these we do,
Yep.
which are more so recent. One of these 8 of 2025, and maybe one other one, but everybody else, no. I mean, they're either moved out of state, there's been a death, they've sold the home. It was a tenant who didn't give us their billing information. Like I said, a lot of this is in 2022, 2023, prior to us even working here.
So you'd like a motion just to remove them from our,
Yeah, because right now, when we send over our utility, it's kind of tough to explain, but when we send over our utility billing to Nuvei or to Beaconama, these accounts are coming back as an error because there's already an account that exists that's getting paid. But these ones are sitting out there, so.
So with our current utility billing policy, we have the ability in office to make adjustments. However, these specific adjustments do not fall within that utility billing policy. So on a monthly basis, within council packets, you do receive under consent agenda to be approved utility bill adjustments. However, like I stated, these fall out of that scope. So we are requesting by specific agenda item request your approval to write them off. You will also then see them on that adjustment report, but we are coming to you ahead of time.
And some of these as well have been within G-Works, which was a platform that
Yep.
we don't use anymore.
And we can see that 27156 is from 2025 and
Yeah, so
to handle on things, it's really.
right, there's since I've started this process, there's been maybe one or
Yep.
two at most.
Is there a motion to?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded to write off our utility billing from 22, 23, 24, and 25. Any discussion? Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Resolution 2026-03, transfer of $50,000 to the equipment replacement plan. Andrea.
Sure, so it's a budgeted amount within our annual budget to transfer from Temperance Lake Ridge operating account to the City of Sherburne General Fund, $50,000. My recommendation for that $50,000 from 2025 transfer is to transfer that into the general savings for use of equipment replacement. Currently, that account has approximately 99,000 in it. However, we do have an equipment replacement schedule that has not been followed in years, and money has not been set aside. So I believe as though it's in the best interest of the City of Sherburne to transfer the 50,000 to the savings account.
Is there a motion?
Make a motion to transfer $50,000 into the general fund.
Second it.
Is there any discussion? Clerk shall call the roll for resolution 2026-03.
Beckus,
A.
Haney,
Yes.
Ringnow.
Yes. In 3-0, motion or the resolution is approved. And we now have another resolution, 2026-04, amending the fee schedule. Looks like we should have an hourly rate for some investigation work done at the city.
Sure, so we currently have a fee schedule that specifies the research time. However, those wages, or excuse me, those costs per hour for both city clerk and deputy clerk are higher than what the hourly wage plus fringe benefits, which include health insurance, life insurance, PTO, are for the current employees who would be providing that research time, which is myself and Sean. Per statute, it has to be within reason of that dollar amount. And it is not. So with attorney advisement, this resolution is brought before you.
Your motion to approve or deny?
So we can't have more than what we're paying.
Correct. So our current fee schedule for 2026 that you approved stated that the
Research.
research time for the city clerk was $50 per hour. However, this resolution brought before you to adjust that would be $40 per hour. It cannot, it states that it needs to be applicable, and this is based on statute 13.03.
It's too high,
It was too high.
so we need to move it down.
Correct, because the statute authorizes political subdivisions to charge reasonable fees for the actual cost of searching for and retrieving government data, including employee time.
Your motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
It's been motion to approve resolution 2026-04. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? All in favor? Oh, roll call vote, sorry.
Thank you. Ringnow,
Yes.
Backus,
Yay.
Baney,
Yes.
Motion, resolution 2026-04 has been approved. Now number 6, display of sales banner quote.
So sent out to you is a quote for display sales for the banners that the city of Sherburne currently has, although they are extremely faded. The quote is for 15 custom poly banners, exactly the same size and the same image that we currently have. Each of these would cost $108 with a setup fee and shipping and handling, bringing the total for 15 of these to $1,712.
Are these gonna go from the lumberyard to the school?
Same places as they currently are.
Way down to the school?
I believe so. Yep, but the current ones, as I stated, are extremely faded and are
Yeah.
due for replacement.
Pay for this out of our street.
Part of my fund,
Look like.
our budget.
Is that what I read?
It was not budgeted for in our budget work sessions. However, it would come out of the street fund. Yep.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And moved and seconded to update our banners on Main Street. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Full business, status of the union.
Sure. So at the last council meeting, there was a motion that was made to table the request to move forward with approving the classification, excuse me, of the unit as proposed. I just want to provide council with a reminder that the union and Bureau of Mediation Services first notified the city of the request of employees to establish a bargaining unit on October 7th of 2025. To date, the city council has not finalized the establishment of this unit description.
Well, I don't quite understand
Yeah,
what I read through this here and it doesn't tell me a whole lot. I'm at a loss on that.
I'm the same.
Can you email it to me and I'll take a look at it too?
Okay.
So I'd like to note that based on the information that has been provided to the city of Sherburne, on October 7th, there was a request for city council to fill out a questionnaire determining who would be members based on the request of the union,
And what date was that?
October 7th of 2025.
Okay.
I believe that you went into closed session on October 21st of 2025 to discuss this. Specifically, who may or may not, based on your thoughts, could be included in the union, whether that be a supervisory or not role. Essentially, there were a number of employees who sought union representation, and council needed to establish that unit to agree with what the union representatives were moving forward with or not. At that time, you stated that there were 2 employees who served within supervisory roles of some nature, and the rest were classified as employees. The Bureau of Mediation Services then requested in November further clarification on how these 2 employees fulfilled a supervisory role, which you went into closed session again to discuss. Sean and I both were not present nor had listened to the recordings in those closed sessions. The Bureau of Mediation Services received a response with some of those clarifying answers, I believe on November 15th. The day after, there was a request for further clarification as the answers were not submitted in full to the Bureau standards. At that time, no.
answered for them?
Well, potentially at that time, that response was not, provided to the Bureau. Then our mayor resigned in December, and I provided the Bureau of Mediation Services with information as to who our mayor pro tem was, which is you. The Bureau of Mediation Services then sent an email to you, which may have been what was sent. To my understanding, after you responded to that, I believe beginning of January, the Bureau of Mediation Services still felt as though there were inconsistencies and incomplete answers as to how those two employees fulfill a supervisory role. Therefore, they referred it to an investigator for a hearing.
I never got another email from them after I answered questions for them. So
Sure,
I'm out of the loop.
sure.
So
So it sounds like they want to know who can be a part of this union and who can't. And if it's everyone, everyone needs to get approved. And if it's not some of them, it needs to be explained why it shouldn't be those individuals.
well, if you send that to me, Rick, that would be, or that to my email and I'll look at it, see what I can come up with. I don't know what else. I don't know what else to tell you right now, because I haven't seen it and I'm out of the loop.
So if it goes further, it costs us money if it goes over to court.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
City
there's a
should be-
mediator and then
And again, this is not to, this is just to establish the bargaining unit. This is not negotiation of contract. It is just. Correct.
Okay. Sure, that'd be fine too. Old business number 2 is notice. Tim Eisenmenger, apparently he wanted an answer in 30 days and we didn't make any motions or give him any kind of answer, but we did answer this question back in July, I think July 7th, we talked about. We denied his request at that time. So I think we need to deny his, or whatever your choice is, we need to give him an answer. So you can deny it or
Well,
Approve
15 I mean, it was 15 years ago.
Right.
Pipes don't settle up, they settle down. And that the main is higher, I would say that's how the other pipe set off his property would probably have settled. So after
So-
15 years, there was no problem whatsoever, then now there's a problem.
right.
I don't believe it's the city's.
I make motion to deny it. We do it for one, I have to do it for everybody, but
Okay.
it happens down the road.
Is there a second?
Second,
It's been moved and seconded to deny Mr. Eisenmenger's request. Any discussion? Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
I,
Opposed, motion is carried. Police chief's report.
Not a whole lot from the PD this week. We did a round of vehicle ordinances. I think it would have been 3 weeks ago now. I haven't seen you guys in weeks now. We have 2 applications in for employment, both of them part-time right now. One of them would be interested in full-time later on, so we still have to go through the background process. There's nothing saying they have an employment agreement or anything like that at this time. You also have the monthly report in front of you from January. Not a whole lot out of the norm there. Any questions, comments, concerns from anything? Anything?
No, I just want to thank you for your quick response the other night on the issues that I had. I visited with you about it. You took care of it. I think so. Thank you.
So, okay, thank you.
Thanks, Trevor. Clerk's update.
Sure, so I just wanted to provide. Excuse me. An update to council. Stating that the main street lights have been repaired and are in operational standards. Update for you that USDA truck closing will occur on March 4th here at City Hall. This is something that's been in the works for years and years. So we're happy to have something on the books. Mayor Pro Tem Ringnell, Ed Gilmore from the USDA, and our city attorney will be in attendance for that. TLR budget and end of year financials have been emailed out to the city council as well as the Temperance Lake Ridge Committee for review. If there are any questions, please let me or Cornerstone know. Our city hall office is working with the post office as well as the League of Minnesota Cities to see if there are any solutions regarding people not getting their mail delivered. This has been an ongoing issue with not only utility billing, but also at the post office specifically with individuals who may or may not either be able to afford a post office box or would like to pay for one and have the current route for mail not be on their side of the street. So again, reaching out to the League of Minnesota Cities research team as well as other communities to see if they have any solutions to this, specifically for city related matters. However, understanding that it is a citywide problem. We will need to set a public hearing to have a zoning ordinance change. I have drafted two ordinances 2026-01 and 2026-02. The first one is 2026-01, which states an ordinance amending section 901.04 subdivision 6C of the city code regarding conditional uses in the industrial district. The 2026-02 is to then add a section for conditional use permit application process, because in our current ordinances, I could not find this. Again, this is with attorney advisement. I will provide these to you once we have our first public hearing date set. We need to set that so that, and it needs to be within 10 days notice so that we can get it published in the paper as well as follow the policy. So I would like council to consider my request of having that be on March 2nd at 5 p.m. with our council meeting to follow.
That would be fine.
And then finally, Sean and myself will be attending the 2026 MCFOA Clerks Conference the week of March 23rd. Our office will be closed beginning Tuesday the 24th, and then we will reopen on Monday, March 30th. We will be attending a vendor fair as well as taking multiple educational classes, including budgeting, meeting minutes, parliamentary procedure, and more. That's all I have.
From council members, Ronnie?
Public Works advised me they'd like to have an update on our equipment replacement list. They've talked to us before, I think, on the payloader, is that it's on its last leg. And if they're looking at replacing the tractor, it should be done in the next 3 months, because it's could be running into issues for a tractor. They wanted to make the council aware of this, that we have is having issues with it, so they would have an update on the equipment replacement list.
Okay.
For the payloader.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Is that something that the council would like to establish a committee to further work on? Potentially outside of council meetings?
We have an old one that we could use for reference. Can you find that?
I have it accessible, however, it has not been followed in years and it would need extensive updating. So if that's something that we would like to work on,
Well, we'd need need to be updated, that list, because we don't know what year the sweeper is and that kind of stuff. So could find all that stuff out first, and then we can go from there.
We can work on that.
Kind of taken over Rick's responsibility on the public, or on the Public Works Advisory Committee. I didn't take the load off him. I took that over from him. I told him that I'd take that. He's got enough to deal with.
Anything, Rick?
For helping.
I don't have anything, so we need to go into closed session. So thank you all for attending.
Thank you.